I got good level on here?
Yes.
Okay.
Peace, love, and light. It's your girl, Eddie Mae, the neo soul songstress.
Hey, and I'm Myron Benjamin Blakey Fisher.
You're watching For the Love of Music talk show on Scarfire Radio. Yes. And today we have an amazing guest in the building today. Yes, and let me tell you guys something. I've been waiting for this interview for 3 years because this man is a legendary, and the longest working DJ radio host. That's amazing. That's amazing, man. And it's a blessing to finally interview you, Mr. Kevin Amos. Snap it up.
I'm finally getting to me. Y'all are so busy, which is amazing. I love it. I love to see that like local artists very busy and ambitious people like Ms. Annie here. Very ambitious. And the thing is, we started talking one day and I thought that I knew her parents from back in the day.
Definitely, yeah. Definitely. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about yourself and some of your background.
Oh man, well, what they call I'm that Homewood kid. All right, I grew up in Homewood. My folks moved there in 1948 when they bought a house after moving from my grandma's house here in East Liberty. So my grandma used to live on Broad Street, and then she went to California, came back, still had the house and everything like that. So, so this is kind of like my second hood. I graduated from Peabody High School in 1973. Long time ago, y'all. So, some of y'all don't even know about 1970. But anyhow, from way back then, and I went to school in Homewood, went to Belmar School, from kindergarten to second grade. Yeah. And the main thing about it is my first music teacher was Dr. Harry Clark. He was my first music teacher. I always remind him of that when he said, well, when I grow up, I want to be like you. I'm like, no, Dr. Clark, I want to be like you. After there, I went to Starrett School from third grade until eighth grade. Then I could have went to Alderdice or Peabody, but my mom, since she went to Peabody, she said, "Oh no, you're going to Peabody." And I lived 2 blocks from Wesley House. So back in the day, I caught hell.
Oh yeah.
Because I tried to play football. I played football, ran track, and volleyball and all that good stuff. But I was more like academic. I was really nerdy kid. I still am kind of like nerdy and real quiet actually. I talked on the radio, but I started doing radio because when I was younger, I had a speech impediment. And if you listen to me on the radio now, you know that I don't really like enunciate all that clearly, but I'll go back over and repeat stuff over and over again. But it really helped, helped me not being shy as much, because I'm able to talk to people and observe them. And the main thing about it, I get a chance to listen to what they're saying. Mm-hmm. So anybody that wants to get into radio, this is one of the tools you have to develop over the years. You have to get trained in the art of listening, all right, which always helped, and it helped me in my adult life when I started getting in through social work and things like that, because in social work and providing social services to people, you have to be able to listen and comprehend what people are saying, so you get a better understanding on how to help them or what question to ask them next. So that's that part.
Okay, I got it.
Okay. I have noticed your album
collection over there. I mean, it is so. I can see it's an amazing album collection. You spent quite a few years collecting those.
Oh yeah, I started collecting music when I was living with my parents, because we had like one of those. Remember the old stereos?
It's hi-fi.
One of those hi-fis. Yeah. Later on came the stereos.
Woo!
But the hi-fis. So I used to listen to that. As a matter of fact, it was real weird because I was watching this movie yesterday with Leslie Uggams that she's in.
Mm-hmm.
She's been like still does movies and everything like that.
Right.
My dad had a sing-along with Mitch album with Leslie Uggams on it. I remember watching her on TV when I was very young on TV. Leslie Uggams. But my dad had like gospel music.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I first got exposed to Aretha Franklin.
Right.
From listening to her father's sermons, where her and her sister sang on the records.
Wow.
In Detroit there, but you can hear Aretha and her sister, I think it was Carolyn, doing solos and things like that. So that's how I first got exposed to Aretha Franklin, through her father's sermon. But they had different gospel albums, Dixie Hummingbirds.
Right.
I met Mr. Ira Tucker from the Dixie Hummingbirds years later, and I interviewed him. I told him about how I used to listen to his records growing up. Also, I told that to Mavis Staples too. And I talked to her when I interviewed her when she came to Pittsburgh a few times. So I interviewed. I listened to the Staples singers, James Cleveland, Clara Ward. I found out about Curtis Mayfield through Clara Ward, because his mother used to sing with Clara Ward and all the different stuff. So, it goes on and on and on. It's all, believe me, folks, it's all connected. So I started, collecting records back in the 70s. When I got my little job and I was able to buy 8-track tapes and the cassette player and go to my room and listen to them, and people like that. So I would listen to people on 8-track. I had albums that I would play on the hi-fi.
Right.
Till my folks told me, you need to take that noise upstairs and listen to it.
Okay.
So I did, so I started collecting records. I had even more than this, and I'm sorry that I kind of traded them away at Jerry's years ago. I should have kept them, because shortly after, that's when people started sampling different records.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff now to play the original samples.
There you go.
I understand. Mine is nowhere near that. I got 2 little boxes, like this one down here. With some old stuff like Mom's Mabley, Platters, Pig Meat Markham, that kind of stuff. But you got the creme de la creme right there.
Yeah, man, I got some over in the corner, and I got some stashed away in the other room too. So when I moved, my son and my grandsons helped me move all my stuff. So I'm still actually, if you look around, I'm still in the process of still trying to get settled in and still moving and stuff like that. But I'm here in my own place now.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Okay.
God bless the child that's got his own.
Yeah.
And I can see right here, the Last Poets.
Yeah.
Yes.
Familiar with is it the Last Poets Society?
Yeah.
Yes.
On the subway.
The Last Poets, man. This is madness.
That's Last Poets. That's legendary, man.
Play that on the radio back in the day.
No.
Look, y'all want to talk about that's rap for real. That's the real rap, the original.
Gil Scott Heron.
Yeah.
I still in contact with a couple of the Last Poets to this day. Because they've been to Pittsburgh, but they haven't been here in a few years.
So you remember Sonia Sanchez?
Oh, yeah, Sonia Sanchez taught at Pitt.
Yes.
At the Black Studies Department.
You're right.
A lot of people don't realize.
Wow.
She and Rob Penny.
Yeah, Rob Penny.
That was a genius in itself.
Oh, yes, he was. Yes, he was.
I don't. Did he complete high school? I don't think he did complete high school.
He went to Catholic school. I think he went to like the Central or somewhere like that.
Yeah, but he was a professor at the University of Pittsburgh
Yes,
and did not even complete high school.
Yeah, ended up heading the Africana Studies Department.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, and
Dr.
he and
Curtis Porter and all those good folks.
He and
I would never talk about me coming up without mentioning all of those different people, you know. Bob Johnson, Dr. Lilly.
Yes.
And August Wilson.
August Wilson.
Yeah.
I met August Wilson when I was going to college. That's when I first met him. Because he used to hang out with Rob Penny and Bob Johnson, all the different people. And we used to sit there and like listen to them talk all the time, you know, listen to them talk about black life in general, black life in Pittsburgh, you know, what they were working on and stuff like that. And I remember Rob Penny's play, Little Willie Armstrong Jones.
I was in that play. I played T in that.
Yeah, okay.
The bartender.
But that's how I first got started in radio.
Oh, okay.
Because I in high school, I was in the choir. I was in Peabody, and I started singing actually in church. You know, then I started singing like in these boys choirs when I was going to Sterrett. You know, becoming like one of those boy sopranos who could sing real high, and you know, I sang in a couple of things at Calvary Episcopal back then. You know, and I was singing in grade school, and then in high school, you know. But I got involved in the choir in high school, and then at one point, a student who was going to Carnegie Mellon at the time, his name is Clyde Ligon. Never forget Clyde. He recruited a bunch of us different students to like do some plays.
Okay.
These are like students from different parts of the city and from outside the city. Some of the kids were like from Swickley and different places like that. All black kids, white kids. We all got together and started doing children's theater. So at one point we used to rehearse at WQED when it was at the new location now on Fifth Avenue.
Yeah.
Then I think they're getting ready to close that.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, they're talking about moving.
Oh, okay. Just moving, I hope.
I think.
Yeah. It's a shame to lose.
Yeah, QED.
It'll still be around, but it's completely different than what it used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
The other day I went to a program for Dr. Rolf Proctor for him. Well, he was the first host of Black Horizon.
Right.
A lot of people don't realize that. But, you know, when I was watching TV back in the day, first we watched Tony Brown's Journal. Then after Tony Brown's Journal went on, you would have Black Horizons.
Right.
Come on, you know. And then later on, the different hosts on Black Horizons would come on the scene. But that's how I met Dr. Proctor. I was familiar with him from then and from there and from Alma Ellery and Kingsley House.
Yeah, Kingsley House used to be on Larmer Avenue.
Yeah. Way back. I didn't go to Kingsley House back then. I started going to Kingsley and became a member of the board of managers later on when they moved at their current location.
Okay, I went to Kingsley House when I was because like you, I went to Belmore, but I went to preschool to Belmore.
Okay.
And then I went to Larmer Elementary.
Okay.
Bob Mungen was the principal back then.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a deacon over at He was a deacon. I think he's gone now. Deacon over at 6 Mile Zion.
6 Mile Zion. Okay. My brother's godfather used to be at that church, Deacon Manker.
Okay.
For many years. Yeah, I was real heavily involved in the church, Annie. You know, growing up, because I was a preacher's kid. My dad was a deacon, then he became a minister. You know, so that's how I got into like all those different things like that. You know, so that hasn't escaped me. As you see, the Bible. I read the Bible. I read the Quran. You know, I study Buddhism and Islam and different religions. At one point, I wanted to go to theological seminary, but I didn't go that route.
So tell me, in studying all of those doctrines, what is the one common denominator?
There's only one God.
No matter which
That's right.
religion you're.
Amen. I say.
One God.
Okay.
You know?
And
They might say it differently.
Yeah.
You know, the Catholics might have their thing like that. The Christians, the Baptists,
Right.
you know, the Muslims have their thing about Muhammad, but Muhammad came after Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
So then he took the story even further than that, you know, through his experiences, you know,
Right.
in Africa.
Right.
Not the Middle East, but in Africa.
Right.
Yes.
You know, so I told you guys I ramble a lot. So.
That's all right.
I love it. I'm absorbing
It's all part of
the knowledge
where I am now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because this is how I came to this point. You know, through education, through upbringing by my parents, my grandparents, my family in Tennessee. You know, and all that. Because my grandfather, my dad's father, was a minister also.
Okay.
He was like a Primitive Baptist church minister.
Mm.
And if people don't know about the Primitive Baptist church, that was the slave church. You know, not the Baptist church that the slave owners used to send people to, but this is a church that after folks got done going in the fields, and on Sunday, they would have a service, you know, singing a cappella.
Right.
With all accompaniment.
Okay.
No pianos, no Bibles, but they went by the knowledge that they had upstairs.
Right.
You know, and took that further. So that's where my grandfather came. I come from that tradition also.
Okay.
So people don't know that, but I'm still communicating.
Right.
So we communicate on a positive note to everyone.
Agreed.
Yeah. You know, so that's what I try to do with my radio show.
Well, that's why I say peace, love, and light. It's all about, you know, bringing positivity.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes, it is.
Most definitely.
I hope y'all not confused by all this stuff.
Oh no,
We are following you well.
Listening.
Yes, peace, love, and light to everybody tuning in.
Like I said, it's all connected.
Yeah, peace, love, and light to everybody tuning in. Okay, I see Kim Ward. Shout out to Malik. Malik says hello. So
Malik.
Yes, how do you define success in your field?
Well, part of success in your field comes with experience. You know, a lot of times people achieve success by being humble, like myself, because I'm not like a braggadocious person. I'm not. You guys know that.
Yes.
You know, we just like share
hearts,
experience and everything like that. You know? So I'm not real like a braggadocious person. Actually, I'm kind of shy still.
Oh,
you know, let the women know that.
Oh.
Oh. Like a hound too, but you know. I like the women.
You must be a Leo. I mean,
I'm a Libra.
Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Creativity stuff comes in. But you know, I'm still kind of like a shy, quiet type person.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Kind of like stay to myself.
Mm-hmm.
My kids will tell you that. You know,
right.
My ex-wife will tell you that. We were both, when my ex-wife when I first met, we were both kind of shy people. We met at the bus stop.
Okay.
At the bus every day. And one day we got in a conversation about music. Found out she was raised in Texas. I started talking about Zydeco music.
There you go.
And our relationship just took off from there.
Oh,
you know, but I, you know, have like 3 children. 2 children from an angel, and my son Sean to my good friend Susan. You know, so me and Susan met in music circles.
That's
you know,
yeah.
When she was working in Oakland, you know, so we used to hang out at the different bars in Oakland and hang out in the punk scene, and you know, she used to listen to the radio station and all that good stuff too at the old WYAP.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Flo's Records in Oakland. Remember Flo's?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. That's why I first started buying records. I didn't really like buy records at National Record Mart that much.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't until like 45, but I got into like buying albums when I was going to college and stuff like that.
Right.
And, when I was living, for the last few years living with my parents and stuff. That's when I started buying like different records. Started getting into like the jazz and the blues and reggae and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes. Now, yes, we talked. You are a big jazz and blues fan.
Oh yeah, man.
Tell me about your love of jazz, man.
Well, my love of jazz comes from the love of blues, but jazz thing comes from my mom, from my mother, because my mother was a piano player.
Mm-hmm.
She took piano lessons with the same same piano teacher that Earl Garner and his brothers had. Earl and Linton and all those different people. My mom also used to babysit for the late Mickey Bass.
Okay.
When she lived in I think they were living in East Liberty back then. When Mickey was living in East Liberty. My mom used to babysit for them. But my mom grew up with all these different people. She knew Earl Garner. She knew Walt Harper, Ray Brown.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of those different musicians that were going to Shenandoah High School and places like that. Going in the Hill, because they lived in Aliquippa Street.
Okay.
Aliquippa Street was brand new.
Right.
And that's how my dad met my mother. When he got out of the service, he was hanging out in Pittsburgh. I don't know why. He was hanging out in Pittsburgh. In Pittsburgh. That's how he met my mom.
Okay.
So it goes from there and there. My mom was into music. I used to try to play piano, but the thing about me, I wouldn't practice.
Yeah,
but yeah, you gotta practice.
It's
learn the scales and everything so I could sing.
Mm-hmm.
So some of my musical training came from European classical music.
Mm-hmm.
And learning how to sing in the different choirs and stuff like that. And in high school, being in choir in high school, all 4 years of Peabody.
Right.
And getting into theater through Clyde.
Okay.
Through Clyde, I started doing children's theater stuff. Sorry, folks, I'm old and I got arthritis. But through Clyde, through the children's theater group. But then when I was in the children's theater group and with Clyde going into college, I said, well, let me see if I can get into a theater at Pitt. So I started taking these theater courses through Pitt's theater art stuff, but I didn't like the white instructors we had.
They were with Stephen Foster at that time.
Yeah, Stephen Foster. And one of the first things we would do was technical theater, where you have to climb and fix the lights and all that.
Oh.
So you were Gumby.
Yeah, because the instructor
on the catwalk and
always
the
trying to
stage
make me
crew.
do all that stuff. But he wouldn't give me any major type acting stuff because how they were. They think that black people didn't know how to act, but then again, I knew better because I saw black folks in the movies.
Oh yeah.
I saw people on Amos and Andy.
Yeah.
And then I started reading about all these different people and how they got involved and stuff like that, like Butterfly McQueen and her relationship with Clark Gable. I got a story about that too. And and all those different folks. And through going into Black Act Society, I learned about country repertory theater. I met Bob Johnson. I met Dr. Lilly. And Rob Petty and all these different people. And so I got more involved into the black theater. And Leroy Jones at the time, who became American Baraka. So I learned about him and all these different black playwrights.
Yes.
And that's how I got into the black theater stuff. But, I found out that I like theater, I like acting, I like doing stuff, and I was into the radio stuff, but I thought that my calling was behind the scenes.
Okay.
You know, more behind the scenes stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing stuff like working with different musicians.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Sister Bunny Brissett, who's from Pittsburgh.
Yes.
And BJ Nelson,
Okay.
who is my hero, because I learned about BJ in high school, about this woman singing for all these different people. You know, come to find out that she worked with Robert Palmer and all these different people. And I hope you're listening, BJ, because I'm bragging on you. BJ Nelson, and learned about her and a lot of these other different folks like that. So I'm the other kid from Homewood that didn't become that famous as Billy.
Billy Hopper.
No, Billy Porter.
Billy Porter, yeah.
Oh.
I want to interview Billy.
Billy.
If you're checking things out, I tried to go through your people, but they kind of like blocked me out.
Okay.
But but that's how I got involved in like at theater, doing all those different things, and working behind the scenes, working with musicians and stuff like that. So I got involved in radio, WYP. I started out just going to the station, like just observing people on the air and listening to them. People like Amir Rashid, the late Buck Bryce. Well, Buck came after I started doing radio at WYP. I first got involved in like doing like fundraising for the station.
Mm-hmm.
So I would do like research on funding sources.
Okay.
You know, so that's how I got involved in that stuff too. That helped me along in my business.
Did you become a grant writer? Or?
Yeah, I learned how to write grants.
That's
way back then.
That's an excellent.
Excellent skill set.
Where the money comes from.
Yes.
You know, and how to follow the money.
Yes.
You know, if you follow the money, you can find out where the money comes from, and then you could go after it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though some fundraising schemes have changed down over the years, it's basically still the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically like still the same thing. So if you want me to consult you on that, folks,
I would.
Oh, absolutely.
Kevin's gotten to the point now at 69 years old where I don't do too much stuff for free.
I guess no way. You look great. You look great.
But I trained my kids how to do radio.
Mm-hmm.
I trained Sean and Patrice and Patrick how to do radio. I trained my granddaughters. If any of y'all used to listen to my radio shows at WRCT, used to hear my granddaughters doing announcements and stuff like that and reading public service announcements and things like that. So I teach all my family how to do radio. They all know about music,
mm-hmm.
you know, even though they're not involved in radio,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but they know about music. One day, I was at home, and Miss Elliott came out of I Can't Stand the Rain.
Oh yeah.
So I heard my kids get into the
Super
song.
duper fly.
Here's the original record with Ann Peebles, y'all.
Right.
They played it for them. They were like throwing away. Oh, Dad, I didn't know you knew about that.
Lord.
Exactly.
You know, Ann Peebles was a long-time blues musician.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, besides B.B. King and all these other different people, I used to get into like Sonny Boy Williamson and, you know, all the other women black blues artists way back in the day, like in the 20s and 30s. Listen to what they were saying in their lyrics and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we get into the blues, and out of the blues came jazz.
Yeah.
People don't realize that. And it didn't just come from New Orleans, folks.
No.
There you go.
Because black folks moved everywhere around the country.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the places where they moved to was the port of Pittsburgh.
Yes.
So black musicians and their families came here from like the Carolinas, from Virginia, out of the deep south, and many
Louisiana.
different people like that. Louisiana. You know, people don't realize that. But me and Charlie Early got in a conversation one day about black musicians in the water. He said, the thing about Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, it must be the water because all these black famous black jazz musicians and blues people came out of these different towns.
All right.
You know, people don't know that Louisiana Red is from Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Eddie Jefferson is from Pittsburgh, and he's a preacher's kid.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So you know, so it like on and on and on. It's all connected, folks. It's all connected.
Right.
The whole Good family, Good's Pharmacy, and Mel Good and his sister, who was on Whammo from the way back in the day. You know, came out of Pittsburgh. Porky Chadwick.
Oh, yeah,
Porky from Homestead.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when I worked at the Rainbow Kitchen at Homestead, and I worked there for like 7 or 8 years, when I first went there as a visitor volunteer, I met Porky's sister, Claire. You know, because she used to walk past, and I used to talk to her. She said, well, my brother is on the radio at the old Wham. I said, who's your brother? She said, Porky.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, I Porky finally got into like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Wow.
Okay. I mean, I remember listening to Porky from way back.
You know, who else? From Steubenville, Ohio, Sir Walter. He was from Steubenville.
Okay.
And he's a distant relative.
Okay.
But when I used to ask him about it, he said, oh, I don't know those people.
Okay.
When a black person says that, you know that you're probably related in some kind of way.
Steubenville had a couple of folks come out.
Yeah. You know, so
they got even Dean Martin came out of Steubenville.
Dean Martin.
Yeah.
That's why
Wow.
Dean Martin.
Got the Dean Martin Highway down there.
Him and Sammy Davis Jr. got along so well because Dean grew up with all these black folks.
Yeah.
You know, all the Chinese and blacks would hang out together.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day. You know, people don't realize that we lived in some very integrated and communities back
Yes,
in the
we
day.
did. Even here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. My grandmother, who grew up in Ohio, her family was Palmer family. They used to live next door to Clark Gable.
Okay.
You know, and if you read about Clark Gable and his relationship with Butterfly McQueen, he always stood up for her.
Right.
That's because Clark grew up with black folks, and he would always stand up for the people that were always being like put down.
Something I just read about him last week, I think even. I don't think he was really white.
No.
He wasn't. I think he was Indian or something.
Yeah, well.
Native American.
Yeah. You know, that's part of like a lot of our background, especially like on my mom's side of the family, slaves and Native Americans are definitely related.
Right.
And a lot of those people came to Pittsburgh too. They lived in places like Sharpsburg, you know, with like a lot of Native background.
Right.
People don't realize that there were a lot of Native Americans in Sharpsburg, you know, in that area.
Yeah.
And all over the city of Pittsburgh before they came.
Well, I remember when I was coming up, like I said, in East Liberty, our slogan was Pittsburgh is a whole world of people.
Yeah.
You remember that one?
Yeah.
That was back early in the 70s.
Yeah. Then you hear about different, you ever hear of a place called Frogtown?
No.
Yeah. There was a place called in East Liberty, like between Homewood and East Liberty, called Frogtown.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, so that's why you would find like frogs and toads and stuff all around that area, because the river, actually, that's why Washington Boulevard floods to this day, because the river comes all the way down there.
Yes.
And it still floods.
In fact,
people didn't realize
they moved.
Silver Lake and all that stuff is from the Allegheny River.
Right. They didn't want us.
Like, I'm sorry, folks. I'm blowing your mind.
You're blowing my mind. I'm just.
You know?
They didn't want to swim in at Kennywood Park, so they built a pool on Washington Boulevard down there.
Yeah.
They took the lake, the water, all the water out, and built a swimming pool for black people down there.
Yep. Black folks couldn't swim at Kennywood Park, folks. Even when I was growing up, they used to frown on us.
Oh, yeah.
coming to the park.
Yes. And when they started allowing black people to go to Kennywood, instead of allowing us to swim in the pool, they filled the pool in.
Yeah.
They took the pool out, filled the pool in.
That's right. And put that little lake in there.
Yeah, well, I think it was the mouse.
Something like that.
Yeah, and all those other new rides over there. But yeah, they didn't want us swimming. Even going to Kennywood, we would have to go to Westview Park, right?
What's the other place? In
Conneaut Lake, McKeesport.
Was it Rainbow Gardens or something like that? Something like
Remember that one, but yeah. Okay.
Out in the McKeesport area.
Okay.
Black folks used to have to go.
Right.
But yeah, it's a deep history of this whole area.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Let's get back to the music.
This used to then. Sean Kemp, what's up? Jim Skiff. We have Carl King. Oh man.
Oh, Carl, hey man.
Carl King.
Hey, Carl.
Much respect to Jasmine. Yes. So how do you feel that social media has affected the music business?
Well, social media has taken independent artists to another level. I'll put it like that. Because of entities like my good friend Bob Davis who just passed away, and his brother Michael created soulpatrol.com, which was the largest independent black music website, and it still exists. But after Bob died, we're shut down for right now until we kind of regroup and everything. But Bob was able to connect because him and his brother bought their own server, and through all their technical knowledge, created their own website, entity where black folks would come and interact with each other. Not only black folks, but other people that were very interested in our music. So we hooked up with different people on the Motown scene, on the Stax scene. We got the Dells. We voted so much. We caused so much fuss. We got the Dells inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
And they deserve to be there.
Yeah.
Dells.
One of the proudest moments in my radio career, in my whole career, was being there at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, where they had the ceremonies at the Waldorf Astoria, sitting there when the Dells got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as their guest with Bob.
All
right.
That's a big thing.
That's huge.
Yeah.
The Dells, that's it.
So that happened. But social media has been very influential and very helpful in expanding people like the Shy-Lights. Marshall Thompson.
Yeah.
Bob created Marshall Thompson's first website for the Shy-Lights.
Okay.
Not only did he create websites for the Shy-Lights, but so many other different people.
Yeah.
Marshall is the Jackson family connection. And through the Jackson family connection, Bob was able to talk to Mr. Joe Jackson. So whenever people would say stuff about Michael Jackson, I'm like, that is not true.
Right.
Okay.
Because I know what the inside scoop was, and at the time through social media and through the media in general, people were trying to just chop Michael Jackson down.
Oh yeah, they were.
Chop him down. Now, R. Kelly, well.
Oh,
that's
P. Diddy.
That's a different completed.
P. Diddy. I'm saying. P. Diddy.
He did it? Is that what you said?
Puff Daddy, yeah.
I thought that's,
The Clive Davis.
is it P. Diddy or P. Did it?
The Clive Davis connection. Whitney Houston dying.
Yeah, Jaguar Wright.
Bobby Brown, Jaguar Wright.
Bless it.
All that different stuff, But we know the real deal. Now it's coming out about Tupac.
Yeah.
And Biggie. And all this different stuff, and how all this stuff is connected.
Oh, yeah.
And for a long time, I wouldn't say anything. I just put like different things out there every once in a while. I post stuff on social media, on my Facebook page and other places where people would create, where I would create a discussion.
Right.
You know, when you create a discussion, you can become an influencer.
Right.
I consider myself an influencer till this very day because I can take the information, build on the information, on the knowledge that I know, share it with other people, and then create a dialogue and a way for people to interact.
Okay.
You know, so I do that too. But people here in Pittsburgh, some of the need to grow folks won't acknowledge that because they want to keep things undercover on the down low.
Right.
You know, and where people don't discuss it. You know, when you talk about the real connection between Pittsburgh jazz, most recently, and I won't say the person's name, a person who is not from Pittsburgh, who is white, wrote a book on Pittsburgh jazz. The thing about the book on Pittsburgh jazz is that anything written about Pittsburgh jazz has been written by white folks, and it's inaccurate. It's totally inaccurate. This is, when we talk about Pittsburgh jazz, it's beyond Wiley Avenue days, and way before that.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
You talk about Earl Father Hines. You talk about the Chitlin
Mary Lou
Circuit,
Williams.
Mary Lou Williams, the Chitlin Circuit Connection.
Yeah.
How all these people would play in all these little towns like Clarendon and Homestead and all these other small places. Not only are those small places, places within the city, places created like Westray Plaza by Joe Westray, who had people like Stanley Turrentine and that in his band and all these different people. And your also Art Blakey.
Yeah.
So after he started playing piano, which is another percussionist,
right.
And then he went into drums.
That's right.
You know, but it's like it's all connected, all created through social media. But if you write a book about Pittsburgh jazz, you have to go listen to, and I'm going to tell some of you folks this, but you won't be able to access it. You have to go to the University of Pittsburgh archives. One of my good friends, the late Nathan Davis, was able to gather information about the Pittsburgh jazz tradition and the actual interviews with the musicians in the period where the white musicians union, through integration, phased out the black musicians union. And you hear how different people like Joe Westray, Earl Garner, and other different people would talk about how they did not want it to happen because it took away the musicians' jobs in Pittsburgh. And what happened? Integration, the black musicians in the black music scene changed that time. Again, in the Pittsburgh area. A lot of people don't realize that. That's how the Pittsburgh area started changing with the music scene. You know, now we've kind of like regrouped. It's been, well, the Pittsburgh music scene, especially with jazz, R&B, blues, and other things, have completely changed.
Yes, definitely.
When you go, and I'm not putting down Miss Freddie because Freddie is a great woman, and I love all that she does, and she's been involved in the blues scene, not, you know, going for the BS, but continuing to do what she does.
Yes.
Regardless. You know, but some other black musicians have become completely turned off from that, so they won't participate in the blues stuff.
Yeah,
You know, we really need more folks to do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I understand.
Yeah.
You know, and one of the other things when they built the Civic Arena down there, took out the original Crawford Grill, that and the
Yep.
that and the riots back in the day also changed a lot of the jazz scene.
Yeah.
And
now we're trying to see I just moved from the Hill, and I lived in Orvis Towers, and now you're seeing them trying to restructure the Hill again.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Where it's like not geared for black folks. You know, even though we need to have more affordable housing,
Right.
more black businesses, and I'm glad Solan's is there in the Hill District now. Create a grocery store where people can go shopping.
Yes.
But now we're seeing that we need to create more music spaces, more black businesses, and more things like that. I'm not against white folks having businesses, but if we take our money, our millions of dollars in Homewood and other places, and take it to the white community, that doesn't help the black community.
No.
I got to give a shout out to Carl Redwood.
Yeah, Carl.
He and his people out there. I got to give it to him.
Carl and I go back over 50 years ago when we first met at the University of Pittsburgh, where he was an activist and I was an activist. And that's how Carl and I first crossed paths. I later met his wife.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
You know, and now his son is doing it to death on TV. I'm so Carter, man.
Carter was one of our child actors.
Carter and my son went to preschool together.
Yes, Carter and I did a couple of plays together. Christmas is coming uptown.
Yeah.
There's another one that Mark Southers wrote. We did. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it was a great play. Carter was always a great kid. In fact, I'm so proud of all the kids that grew up in theater coming up when I was here, because I can.
We all look at like Cheryl. L and her sister.
Oh, Cheryl and Kim L. Yes.
We all came up together, you know, back in the day, coming up through Pitt and everything like that.
Oh,
yeah. Yes. I'm so proud of these kids. We got one who he's a officer in the Army, chaplain. His sister's doing great too. Randolph. What's the last name with Sherry Randolph?
Randolph.
No. Sherry Randolph's son.
I think you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't.
Just say something about her son.
He's
folks. I check out all of your different postings and stuff on Facebook, and I read your stuff. I may not comment, but I'm checking everybody out. Yeah, I'm keeping up with everybody.
Hey, you know.
You have to keep up with everybody, see what everyone's doing. You encourage the people. I wish everybody happy birthday, whoever birthday. Carl and his brother, and Carl King,
Yes.
So we go way back too, man. Some of the people that grew up in my neighborhood was like Eric, the guitar player.
Not Eric DeFay.
No, not Eric DeFay. But Eric played with with Lou Donaldson and a lot of different people like that.
Ooh.
Who else? Gordy Gary. Gordy Gary, we grew up on the same street. He grew up on the block below me.
Okay.
Eric's name keeps escaping me, but he grew up on Chaucer Street.
Okay.
Anyhow, right below the Opera House. We all grew up in that neighborhood.
Right.
Doug, who later became the president of USA Network, we went to grade school together. Hal Brown's kids went to Stare together. Miss Alma Fox's daughter Wesley, her brother Richard, we went to Stare school together, but they grew up on Apple Street too.
I knew, I knew they were right down the street from where I lived, 2 doors down. Yes, Mr. Fox. Was it Richard Fox?
Yeah, his father was a police officer in Silver
Yes,
Richard.
Mr. Fox. Yeah, see that? I love them.
Yeah.
Great people, man.
Yeah, all kinds of different folks, man. Activist people, Rick Adams' father.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we grew up on Upper Street together. Brandon Rice's mother, Miss Willa Mae Rice, she wrote for the Pittsburgh Courier. She's a religious editor. So many black folks.
I don't know if you knew her, but there was a lady used to teach Sunday school. You know where the Foxes live, but down on the same side of the street, down on the other side of the Opera House.
Okay.
Near the steps, there's a lady who used to teach Sunday school over there.
Okay.
I remember if you know
I can't remember her name.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That was back in the 60s, man.
Yeah, back in the 60s, man.
That was
I
the
was a kid
60s.
from the 60s and 70s. So you know what I'm talking about.
I hear you.
Yeah, you know.
Man.
I was like a little young black hippie.
That's when at 12 noon, Pittsburgh smelled like rotten eggs, like sulfur.
Oh,
12 noon, it was dark.
Either growing up home when you could smell the bakeries cooking, or the fumes from the steel mill,
man.
all the way to home.
You know, and Stagno's Bakery.
Stagno's Bakery.
Oh man, that used to be the best. Yes, Lord. Yeah, back there. And Larimer Avenue. When I got back to Pittsburgh, I almost cried when I seen Larimer Avenue.
Oh, Larimer Avenue, yeah.
Oh, it was right. You know, when you come around that corner, man. And you see all the mom and pop stores, like the Italian restaurants and the pizza joint and a lot of other places, man. And they were all gone. It was not even Kingsley House was gone. Belmar School was gone.
Yeah, we had all these different places in the community where people would go shop at.
Yeah.
Farmer Avenue. There was the Lang Avenue Business District. There was the Homewood Avenue Business District. Yeah, with all that different stuff.
Wow.
Lincoln Avenue Business District. We had all those different things where people would go shop. If you was in East Liberty, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
But if you went to downtown Pittsburgh, that was a really big deal.
Oh, wow.
Parents put you on the street, we get on the streetcar, ride downtown.
Now, I'm going to really date you. Treasure Island.
Yeah, I remember. Me and my buddy was just talking about Treasure Island yesterday.
Okay.
And the original.
Yes.
Yeah, in the library. You know, all that different stuff. Treasure Island. Because I was telling him like how we went to Steubenville, Ohio to visit our cousin one time. And I remember there's a Treasure Island in Steubenville, Ohio. I'm like, wow. Okay. There's a Treasure Island down here, too.
Wow, yeah.
Treasure Island. Because we used to go there instead of like Target.
Oh.
You know, and then there was like a department store, May Stearns, and
J.C. Penney's, and
then we go to all, man. I'm telling you, all these different places. So yeah, I remember from some of these other places 50 or 60 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, when I was growing up as a kid.
Yes.
You know. Yeah.
You're only a few years older than me, so we came up in about the same era.
Yeah, my grandmother's house, well, McDonald's is now, was like Mansman's parking lot. And my grandma's house was like across the street.
Okay.
All those different houses there on Broad Street.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So yeah, man, all kinds of different stuff.
And good times back then.
Yeah, good time. Good time. And people's parents would help raise you.
Oh yeah.
In the community.
You better not do that.
If you lived on Upper Street and you did something like on Chaucer, some of his parents would see you and call your mom and dad and tell them, Kevin's over here acting up. You better call him. My mom would get up with, Kevin!
If they didn't whoop you behind all the way up the street.
You know,
you whoop his behind.
You can hear your parents like 2 or 3 blocks away.
So you done got about 10 whippings between.
my dad would call you. He would just wait till you came to the house. So you was over so-and-so doing so-and-so and so-and-so.
Yeah. Oh. Yes, man.
Yeah, a lot of memories, man. You know, but the neighborhood would help raise you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and it was and stronger than today. We were a lot stronger now than we are now.
You know, I first got exposed to like Islam because my neighbor's son would tell Muhammad speaks.
Uh-huh.
And so my dad would like stop him and talk to him.
Right.
And that's how I got involved with like reading about, way before Mr. Farrakhan.
Mm-hmm.
Like reading about how to live and all that different stuff. I remember when Muhammad Ali was to come to Pittsburgh and visit the mosque and talk, come and see the
Wow.
Homewood and everything. But all kinds of different stuff out. See, a lot of memories, folks, a lot of stuff that I remember growing up and seeing and hearing, because I would sit there and listen to the grown folks all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I sit on the porch and listen to them talk.
Didn't say nothing.
No, you better not
say nothing. But
you can be in grown folks' business, but you sit there and listen.
Oh, yeah.
Sound like somebody I know.
Yes, yes.
Nairobi.
She learned. She's learning.
That girl is.
Nairobi is getting into all this different stuff.
Yeah.
Learning about the music, and she loves music anyhow. That's for her.
And then
good stuff.
she goes on her tablet, and I can hear her in the other room talking about, "Hello, this is my show, and I'm Nairobi." I said, "My baby's learning from me."
She gonna be something by the time she gets there.
I'm telling you, acting, singing, rapping, and dancing. She's gonna, man, and she's so honor roll student. I'm telling you, she's gonna go. She's gonna go far.
My granddaughter. My granddaughter Promise got into she's into those Korean girl groups.
Oh, K-pop.
But she got into that because her grandmother learned Japanese like a long time ago. She could teach the grandkids Japanese and everything.
Wow.
Yeah. It goes on and on. It's all connected.
What you can teach the kids.
Absolutely.
All right. What's our next music question?
What do you? I'm loving it. I'm absorbing the knowledge. I'm absorbing the knowledge. That's all. Now, what advice do you have for upcoming radio hosts and content creators?
Well, the thing about it is you have to learn the craft from the beginning to the end, especially like the technical stuff. You have to keep up with the technology all the time. Now, there's AI now and all this different stuff. I'm not getting too much of the AI for them, like rewriting what you're saying or thinking, stuff like that. That's more Star Trek-ish. But learning the craft, it don't happen overnight. You gotta practice. I did not learn radio overnight. I learned by learning from other people. I learned from listening. I learned from researching and all that different stuff. And that's what you have to do. Addie gets honest because both her parents did radio.
And then
she's been always involved in music.
Yes.
So
and then
she gets it honest. So, she can go and do that. But a lot of people don't do that. Time learned her stuff through her father.
Yes.
Her father was a great musician. Mm-hmm. It took me a long time to finally realize that Tom's father was Dr. Lonnie Smith.
Okay.
Except when I was training her at WRCT, we started talking one day, and she talking about her father this, her father that. He's come to Pittsburgh and blah, blah, blah. I said, who was your dad? She said, oh, my dad is Dr. Lonnie Smith. I said, what? Time learned how to do radio too, but she was always involved in the church and gospel and stuff like that. And that's why she does the tape that she does on the spiritual edge.
Yes.
You know, so I respect her for that.
Respect, sister, and yes, I learned a lot from her.
She's getting out there now,
Yeah.
taking her musical knowledge further with her different musical things that she's doing with her band.
Yes.
Yeah, but you got to practice. You got to just keep on it, and you have to keep up with the technology. When I was at 104.7 The Beat, and I used to be the producer there for the morning show.
Right.
And we became the #1 morning show in the market. But when I was at 104.7 The Beat, jamming oldies back then, I had to teach people like Brother Matt on how to read email because he didn't know how to do it back then.
Right.
Matt did not know how to do that. And I would be there at night with him sometimes, you know, listen to some of these phone calls he got with some of the different people in the neighborhood. But I'll teach him how to read the email so he can respond back to me.
Right.
Because sometimes it was kind of like educated from Matt, you know.
I understand.
Yeah, but and you know, some of y'all were laughing.
I understand.
People who used to listen to his radio show and used to tune in would know just from Matt being on the radio. But I know Matt and his brother for years and years and years, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was back when we were on the Boulevard of the Allies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
John Anthony, me and John go way back. Even though I never worked at Whammo. I worked at a Whammo station that was affiliated with Whammo when I did radio WCXJ, the AM station.
Right.
Which is a long time great black radio station. It was on AM radio. We got into music, but we also did a lot of talk. It became so controversial because the people downtown wanted to take our station off the air.
Okay.
Okay. Now that 1550 on the radio now that the Jazz Society folks and all those other people on have now.
Right.
Originally was AM 1550 WCXJ.
Okay.
Yeah. Del King, our great engineer, Del King, who was a great radio engineer way before he became a radio broadcaster. Great engineer.
I remember that. AM 5050. They were playing Prince and Mandrill.
You know, on all those different people on the air. You know, like your dad and the other folks. You know. So, here we go.
There you go. So
yes.
Technology, folks.
Yeah.
So keep up with it. Keep up with the times.
Bob and I, when AM 1550 got into during the Keystone Connection, I tried to convince Cody Anderson and the people in Philadelphia that they should let Bob and his brother build their website for them so they would be able to, so we could bring the Keystone Connection together. CXJ people and WHAT people back then, but they weren't weren't into it back then. They didn't realize how powerful that medium could be.
Right.
Yes. You have any questions of mine? All right. Hello everybody in the comments. We're on. This is the exclusive interview with Mr. Kevin Amos. If you guys have any questions, please put them in the comments. I say this is a
once in a lifetime.
That's exactly this. There's not usually a time that you can talk to somebody who has the experience that Mr. Amos has. So I see you, Sterling. What's going on, man? Yeah, but don't be scared to put a question in the comments or give up. Yeah.
The only thing about the hip hop thing, I will not play anything on the air that's not positive.
There you go.
Come on,
A lot of made up stuff about your life, about who you shot and who you screwing and all this stuff. I ain't gonna play that.
Yeah.
I'm not playing it.
I had my own thoughts about that, and I'm not even there.
One time I was at a thing of paradise, and we were doing a thing, I think down the strip district, and they had all the different rappers. I straight up came and told them, like, hey, you can send me stuff, but if it's not positive,
Come on.
I ain't playing it.
Come on. We need that positive energy.
I'll play people like Arrested Development, Tank and the Bangers, you know, and other
LL
folks
Cool
like
J.
that. LL Cool J. You know, me and Chuck D are like this.
Oh.
You know, so I know Chuck because Chuck and Bob's brother grew up in Long Island together.
Okay.
And that's how I got introduced to Chuck D.
That's where the iced tea comes from, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's why I love me some iced tea.
See, all those guys didn't all come from the South Bronx. Some of them were living out further out of New York City. They don't all in Queens or in the South Bronx.
Okay.
You know, but some of them grew up like in Long Island and stuff like that. You know, in other parts of New York, Staten Island, and, you know, and places like that. So people don't realize that.
Now, speaking of New York, the New York jazz scene, and the Renaissance era, you know, we talk about great New Yorkers or people out that way like Horace Silver, Grant Green, and the great musicians out of the New York area.
Well, Horace Silver, him and your cousin started the Jazz Messengers.
They're tight.
They started the Jazz Messengers. You know, and when Horace left to go do his thing, Art kept the Jazz Messengers going. But what Art would do, he would take the younger musicians and bring them and give them the opportunity to play. Just like Walt Harper would do the same thing.
Right.
Mr. Harper will give every younger musician an opportunity to play in Pittsburgh and put them on the gig.
Right.
See, that's...
So then they went on.
Yes.
Wynton
Marsalis and
when
Bradford
first came to Pittsburgh, Wynton and Bradford,
they are
people like
they were both jazz
Dwayne
messengers.
Dawson. You know, Dwayne, that's how Wynton from coming to Pittsburgh.
I just did a show with Dwayne.
Yeah.
A Christmas show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, B.B. King.
Yeah. Dwayne's awesome, man.
Yeah, he is.
Man, he did. You did it. That was epic, man.
Another great musician came out of Shelley High School.
Is that
Dwayne and his brother? Yeah. People don't know that Dwayne's brother.
And then I believe there was a gentleman who was a trumpet player for the Roy Ayers. Yeah.
Squirrel.
Yes. See.
Yeah. Squirrel went on the road too.
Yes.
Different people down over the years. You know, God rest his soul. He was a great musician.
Man.
Even Ernest McCarty.
Yeah.
He's from New York.
Yeah.
But he's here in Pittsburgh now.
Yeah.
And doing great things. But you know, he's a New Yorker.
Yeah, but Ernest played with Dinah Washington.
Yes.
I'm like, you played with Dinah Washington?
Whew.
But and guess who else played with Dinah Washington?
Who's that?
In his early days in the United States. Joe Zawinul from Weather Report.
Oh, yeah?
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I interviewed Joe one time and talked to him about that, you know? Like, he said, how did you start playing? I said, I played with Dinah Washington. I said, what, man? Played with Dinah Washington. Other people from Pittsburgh, Dakota Staten.
Yes, Dakota Staten.
Beautiful.
Yes, man.
Lady from Kendrick Street in Homewood. The Billy Strayhorn.
Yeah.
Susquehanna Street. His family came from Ohio, and they all were raised here in Pittsburgh.
Right.
Well, most of the family was raised here in Pittsburgh, by the way.
Although Phyllis Hyman is not originally from Pittsburgh, she lived here a while.
Family.
She lived here. Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Great.
Her brother used to write music as well.
Oh, yeah?
Her younger brother, yeah.
That Ernest, man, he's something else. Have you ever check out all his skills?
Oh yeah, man. He's a bad dude.
He plays a lot of instruments. He's a physical artist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he paints and draws and builds, all kind of stuff.
That's like John Hurt.
Yeah,
Player. Yeah.
and he writes plays.
Yep.
The first play I ever did was written by Ernest McCarty.
Okay.
He's a bad dude, man. And there's another cat out of New York like that. That's just
so many talented people.
Yeah.
A lot of the folks from Pittsburgh, as part of the Chitlin Circuit, not only did they play at Del Palo and some of the different places in New York,
right,
but they went and played all these different clubs in New York from out of Pittsburgh.
Right.
Earl Father Hines got musicians. He went to Chicago.
Right.
And created all these different people. Then he had people under him like Marvin Josie, who's an amazing singer.
Bless her. Shout out to her, man.
And people in Beaver County and
Marvin Josie.
All connected with the black musicians.
And you can't forget my boy from RH Factor, Roger Humphreys.
Man. Roger's
Yes.
Professor, I call him.
Yes.
Professor Roger. Yeah.
He be doing the thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Me and Roger go way back, man.
Yes, he's a good dude, man.
You know, when he decided he was going to raise his family, came off the road and stayed in Pittsburgh. But he started taking what he knew and bigging up all the younger, just giving them opportunity.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. That right there, giving them.
One of those people who, he was on the road a long time, but he loved Pittsburgh, so he came on back and he lives here now. And fantastic guy.
People like Johnny Costa, from Westmoreland County and stuff like that.
Right.
They all stayed in Pittsburgh and started creating different things. Like Johnny Costa started working with Fred Rogers.
Right.
And creating all those different things. Josie Carey. All these people are all connected.
Oh, yeah.
And people don't realize that. Because the reason why is because people do not write about that in the history of Pittsburgh music.
Come on.
And
especially the black musicians, because we're from the oral tradition. We don't really write too much stuff down, but we'll talk about it.
Right.
And we carry it on. But guess what, folks? Guess who's going to be writing more about that?
There you go.
Woo!
So I'm going to set some of you other folks straight about Pittsburgh jazz who are not from here, but you didn't get all the information that you needed.
Right.
A lot of musicians are not with us anymore, but I have recordings of some of them. I have recordings of some of the original members, or some of the members of the Black Musician Union who I talked to. I talked to the woman who knew Mary Caldwell Dawson, who was one of her students. So I have an extensive information from her. I talked to Dr. Nathan Davis, who created jazz studies, the first jazz studies department in the United States.
Okay.
Dr. Davis left Kansas City, went in the Army, through Kenneth Clark, brought him to the University of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
He introduced him to people at the University of Pittsburgh. And then Dr. Davis got hired to create jazz studies at Pitt. Dr. Davis passed a lot of stuff down to me.
There you go.
And even though I wasn't in his ethnomusicology courses or one of his students, but he listened to me on the radio and said, look, I'm going to share this information with you. And he gave me a lot of different stuff.
That's what I'm
to check out. So,
and
people don't know. People just don't know.
And jazz is so world renowned.
Yeah.
I was stationed over in Berlin. And this is before the wall came down, so I would go over to the communist side, to the east side, And over there, I ran into this little record, I think because I bought some other stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought like 11 albums, right? All jazz albums. I mean, from all over the world. This is xylophonist. I think his name was Klaus Dinkelmeyer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, some of the best. And I wish I still had these albums. I lost them in the trip. My cousin's album I found over there.
Mm-hmm.
These albums would have cost me, even back then, at least a good $150 or more. Of course, I got them for 11 cents because the mark rate,
Right.
the dollar was worth 4 German marks, and 1 German mark was worth 11 East German marks. So about $11, I bought all these great musicians, I mean, from all over the world, and it was all about jazz. Loving jazz. All of it was Pittsburgh and New York and New Orleans influenced. A lot of great stuff.
There are people in Europe that know more about jazz, and especially in Japan,
Yes.
more about jazz than people from here.
Yes, definitely.
You know, they got so much different things about jazz in Japan. So much stuff about reggae in Japan. So much stuff about blues in Japan.
Oh, yes.
That people don't realize that people know all this different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's all interconnected.
Oh, yeah.
You know, jazz fusion groups.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the group Passport?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Take 5. Oh, yes. Definitely.
Wolfgang
Wolfgang
Schmidt is one of the baddest bass players I ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, before I was checking out Wolfgang Schmidt, and then I found out about Marcus Miller.
Oh, yeah.
All right, now I'm going to tell you.
Stanley Clarke.
I got a trivia.
Oh, yeah, Stanley, yeah.
I don't even think I know the answer. Who wrote the theme song for Barney Miller? Look that up for me.
He's he wrote the Flintstones theme too. Was it Quincy?
Was it Quincy Jones?
Was it Quincy Jones or Oliver Nelson? It could have been Oliver Nelson. Could have been. It was one of those guys because they wrote a lot like TV theme shows.
Who wrote the theme song for Barney Miller?
Oh man,
that was one because that's one of the baddest theme songs I ever heard, man.
Yeah.
That song was just.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up now.
That's just came to my head. That was something, and I love that song. And some of these songs and TV shows have some of the greatest jazz and blues and things that come out of there. The music is just
especially in the 60s and 70s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. People don't know that the music director for the Bill Cosby show was come on, y'all know who I'm talking about. Cecil Brooks III.
Okay.
Yeah, he was Bill Cosby's music director for like a lot of years.
Wow.
People don't realize that. But, you know, people like say good and bad stuff about Bill Cosby. You know, he's my man. I took a picture of him.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
Some of that stuff I think when we get so high up.
Well, people.
Yeah.
Anytime you want to try to bring the black man down.
Yeah.
Talk about money or women.
That's it. And
that's it.
I believe he was what?
Either mistreating women or he got a lot of money.
So, and I think he was trying to buy CBS or something like that.
Well, he wanted what Comcast owns now with Universal and all that stuff. See, Universal Music didn't want Bill to have a lot of different stuff, you know. But guess who got him?
Who?
My man, Byron Allen.
My
hero.
Byron is something else. Byron is that look.
He owns the Weather Channel.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's so, you don't hear a lot about him.
No.
He's so
He stays like low key. Very humble, low key.
Brilliant brother.
But I was reading an article that he had to mortgage his house a bunch of times because the banks wouldn't lend him money.
Well, yeah. Okay.
You know,
Wow.
Crow and racist. Ugly head again in the 2000s.
Well, yeah. But yeah, I give him all honors and props, man. The dude is doing it, man.
Yeah.
The dude is not, he's like Shaq, got his hand in everything. You know,
Shaq is very smart man too.
Shaq is brilliant.
Yeah.
Shaq is brilliant.
Shaq is brilliant.
Yes.
And Dave Chappelle learned from his parents.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now Davis, he don't have to do a show. He produces other people now.
Yeah.
You know, like Monique.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Or Larry. Well, we call him Ashy Larry. Larry just came on from
Yeah.
Lavelle Crawford. And all these different people that Dave was producing now.
Okay.
Putting their stuff out there. Or Neil Brennan, whose partner who helped co-write the Chappelle Show.
Oh, that show was...
I was just watching Neil Brennan today.
hilarious.
It's a funny...
Chappelle. Oh, that's one. Oh, man.
Dave Chappelle. My hero, Paul Mooney.
Yes.
Yeah.
Paul Mooney.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, because like you were mentioning earlier when you had, like, Mom's Maybe and
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't allowed to listen to that stuff growing up because my friends or some of my uncles or aunts would have those records.
Okay.
I'll listen to them. But I got this like Mom's Maybe. I saw Mom's Maybe on TV. I saw Flip Wilson on TV.
Right.
But I started studying comedy.
Yes.
You know, every once in a while I'll throw a comedy piece in on my show. Like a Mom's Maybe song where she's singing or something like that. But, you know, you learn how to study the black comedians and where they came from.
Right.
And
Like Bill Cosby.
Yeah, like Bill Cosby. Because Bill Cosby learned from a lot of different people too.
Yes.
You know, but he wanted to do it like a
clean thing.
But
it was still funny though.
Yeah.
But then Bill decided he would further his education, and he got his doctorate in education.
Right.
People don't know that Bill Cosby has a doctorate in education.
Yes, his Dr. Bill Cosby.
Yeah. You know, so all these different things. But like I said, who won this game? Illinois beat Wisconsin, folks.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Yes, and there's another one, comedian I love. You don't hear a couple of them. Franklin Ajay.
Yeah. Hey, can y'all excuse me for a minute?
Sure.
Yeah.
I got to do my old man thing.
Peace, love, and light. Peace, love, and light, everybody. What's up, everybody? Tuning in.
Hey, yo.
Yes.
This is Myron Benjamin Blakey Fisher.
Yeah, Anime the Neo Soul Songstress.
For the Love of Music Talk Show on Fire Internet Radio.
Yes.
Out Tuesday at 6 p.m.
6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check us out also if you're checking the replay out. Peace, love, and light. Also, if you would like to be a guest on our show, you can hit up Mr. Myron over here.
Give me a holler.
Yeah, same number as the booking, 412-927-6666. So yes, you know, we do our thing, and we're interviewing the greatest legends, as you see, the legendary Kevin Amos, and that's just beautiful. He's so humble to be as accomplished as he is. He's so very nice, and I always speak. Yeah. Talk about that Pittsburgh Jazz. That's amazing. Check us out. For you guys that are watching, this is the official Wisdom World Beat Reggae Band T-shirt.
Yeah, she can purchase those.
You can get this, the hat and the shirt for $25. All you gotta do is hit me up. or yeah, hit me up and I'll give you Errol's information. But yeah, this is the official wisdom shirt. You know, I got my green on. Happy St. Patrick's Day, and shout out to all of our following in Ireland. Happy St. Patrick's Day to all y'all. But if you guys have any questions for Mr. Amos, make sure that you put them in the comments. You know, if you have any questions for us as well, you know, and do me a favor, tag, if you see this, share it, tag 5 people you would like to see on the show. But yeah, this is.
Oh Lord, not Kevin Amos again. Don't bring him back on. Too much.
No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm just absorbing it all. I'm like, it's beautiful. So how can people tune into your show and find your show? What is your yes?
Well, I produce 2 shows at WRCT where I've been on the air for over 30 years. People don't realize I've been on WRCT for over 30 years now. I've been doing non-commercial radio longer than I did commercial radio. People don't realize that. I did do commercial radio at 104.7 The Beat. I was the funk overlord on the air.
Okay.
I was the guy cutting up with Mike Frazier every morning, pulling pranks on him. I was on the air with him, Mike Frazier, with Chris Reynolds, and Carrie Griffin right now. Carrie, you know, who she does real estate now, but I love her. But and I work with the people at 3WS. I knew Marco and Miss T, Teresa. You know, I don't know what she's listening, but she's a big fan. I've known those people for like a long time. When I was at 104.7 The Beat, I was able to get Mr. James Brown to come on the air and talk with Chris one time about what he did at Christmas time. You know, like give him and well, I brought Marshall to the station. Marshall didn't actually go on the air, but I took Marshall to WC to W 104.7 WJJJ.
Okay.
Which used to be a progressive smooth jazz station way back in the day. Progressive. Where they were based out of New Kensington back then.
Okay.
But anyhow, you know, way back then I did radio. What was I saying? WRCT.
Yeah,
30 years. Well, after I had left WYEP, because a lot of us were forced out of WYEP because I didn't want the station to move to Chatham College. I felt that the station could have prospered more and done more with community members still taking part of the station. But some of the powers that be didn't want a lot of us on the air. And if you notice, there's only a few people on the air still at WYP now. My good friend Rhett Weatherspoon, who still does blues there. Rhett Weatherspoon, my man, he started the original smooth jazz format at WHUR in D.C.
Ooh.
All right.
And he doesn't get credit for that. People don't talk about that. And he's another person that's very, very humble.
Now, with these radio stations, WYEP, what are the call signs? Is it FM, AM, or?
Well, WRCT is 88.3
Okay. 88.
FM. Okay, we stream at www.wrct.org. I record my show every week. I also do another show, which I do with Rick Adams, public affairs show called Ebony Spectrum.
Oh.
Okay. Rick and I grew up on Upland Street. We're both community activists, and we've known each other on their all our lives because we grew up on the same street. His father was a big civil rights activist and did a lot of stuff for the community when we were growing up.
Right.
But Rick and I got together, and we've been doing radio. We've been doing radio since we were at WCXJ, AM, because I first started producing Black Talk when I was producing Black Talk. And I also produced Dr. Ralph Proctor. I used to produce Dr. Earl Bell Smith, Our Healthy Community. Dr. Smith passed away years ago. I worked with Romaine Knox at WCXJ. I worked with Bruce Baugh at WCXJ. I worked with Jay Coleman at WCXJ. And I worked with the great JT. Remember JT?
From
JT used to do a talk show.
Okay.
On WCXJ on Saturday mornings.
And when was this? Because I might have been out of town.
Well, you probably were out of town back then. But we used to do Saturday mornings from 9 until 12 every Saturday.
Okay.
We had people on the air like I remember her name anyhow, but she did a lot of stuff about black female relationships. She was based out of DC, out of Howard University.
Okay.
And I'll write her name on the website, folks.
All right.
We had her on air. We had a lot of different folks talking about issues. John Ford and I worked together. I used to be his producer also, the late John Ford on WCXJ. And we had people talking about the, where's that book at? Anyhow, we did a book about how they brought the drugs into the LA area. The crack cocaine epidemic.
Freeway Rick.
Yeah, Freeway Rick Ross.
Yes.
So we interviewed the writer who wrote the book about that, who gathered all the information. After the writer gathered all the information, Gary Grant. After Gary created all the information, the FBI and the paper he worked for said that all that stuff was a lie.
Well, I will tell you.
A couple of years later,
I will tell you this.
Gary died mysteriously.
I will tell you this now. Rick Ruff, Freeway Rick, was convicted, sentenced to 3 life sentences. You know he's out now, right? Yeah, I know. Okay, he was one of my inmates. Okay. I knew him. He was cool, but you know.
But he told you what actually happened.
They let him go. Yeah. They arrested him again for something. Then they let him go again. Okay, it had to do with that Iran-Contra stuff there, out the north, and all that good stuff. But he had 3 life sentences. Yeah. You know, and he's out on the street. Come on, that in federal system, that just does not happen. Well, the Iran-Contra thing, all that stuff came out. We come to find out now that the government was lying. Yeah, I mean, whatever he had on them, God bless the brother. Yeah. In the meanwhile, they was like, the government was taking care of business. Yeah, the government was taking care of business. You know? At that time. So, we won't go any more into that because they might be knocking on my door. Hey, like I said, a lot of people that's going to listen to this show, they know him because we served together as corrections officer in L.A. Yeah. You know, they know what I'm talking. But yeah. That's just like a lot of people from Pittsburgh who disappeared back in the 60s and 70s, and the records got lost, and they were in jail for like a long time. Okay. Western Penitentiary. Then we talk about Mamiya Abdul-Jamal, whose connection, he was a journalist. Okay. People don't know that Abdul-Jamal was a journalist. Sorry. And that he put out a lot of information about what was going on in Philly. He talks about how they bombed the Move People's house and killed all those people in Philly.
I had a girlfriend who was living in West Philadelphia at the time who told me about all that stuff, how they would harass the move folks.
Yeah.
Wow.
And everything, because she was going to Cheney at the time.
Mm.
Hey.
But she broke all this down. But Mamiya is still in jail here in Pennsylvania, and they still won't let him out because a lot of people that got in office in Pennsylvania, one of the people became governor of Pennsylvania because his wife was a judge.
Mm.
And his wife, the judge, was one of the people that helped convict Mamiya out of the whole Philadelphia mafia.
Mm.
So enough said.
Yeah. Yeah, man. But there's a lot of stuff that wasn't right.
I've been involved in like the entertainment stuff. Also been involved in a lot of public affairs gathering.
Mm-hmm.
So Rick and I do the public affairs show, Ebony Spectrum, every Wednesday between 6 and 7. I also play parts of Ebony Spectrum on Sunday mornings at 5 o'clock in the morning, as well as the program In Black America, based out of Houston.
Okay.
So we play that every Sunday morning. So 5 in the morning on Sundays until 12 noon is Black Time on WRC.
Okay.
I hear you. Hey, can I give a shout out to my people down in Houston, Eileen Morris and the Ensemble Theater, Houston, Texas. If you want to see some great entertainment, go see the Ensemble Theater Productions with the head artistic director, Eileen J. Morris.
Yeah, and that's where Dr. Lily is from.
Yeah, she's from the 8th Ward.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, she's from the 8th Ward in Houston, Texas.
Nice, nice.
She came up here. She got her doctorate at Carnegie Mellon. She became a professor at Pitt in the Africana Studies department. She taught was it sex and social health in the studies department.
Sexism?
Yeah, something like that. Brilliant. They started the Country Writers Workshop, her, Rob Penny, August Wilson. I mean, these people were, oh, man, the brilliance. I mean, I'm blessed just to know.
The Black Pittsburgh connection is astounding, folks. You just don't know unless someone tells you, like myself or my man here, or Myron.
It's unbelievable, the genius of the people from Pittsburgh and the surrounding areas.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Then I do, from 6 a.m. until noon, every Sunday.
Okay.
Is Jazz Corner and 1-to-1. I put it up in like 3 different categories. I play jazz from 6 until maybe 8 or 8:30, sometimes till 9. And then from 9 until 11, I might play blues. Or sometimes from 9 until 10, I'll play blues. And then from 10 until noon, I'll play reggae. But today I played a special thing of like some Stone Cold Funk from 11:30 till.
Ooh.
Funk. Old Miss was Last Stone.
Oh.
Bootsy.
Oh.
And I left y'all with JB.
Ooh.
Hey, I hear you.
Brown. As a matter of fact, there's an excellent documentary on James Brown that's aired
just coming out
on the air right now.
Yeah.
Where they interview both his daughters and they interview people from Augusta.
And speaking of Bootsy now, and the rest of Parliament, they came out of James Brown's group.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were David James, Frank Wesley and the Horny Horns, Bootsy Collins.
And his brother Phelps.
Yeah, they come out. Maceo.
Cincinnati Connection.
Maceo. All those folks from Parliament and Funkadelic, they came from James too, man.
I used to go see Parliament Funkadelic back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And, at different places around the city, the old 2001,
yeah, on the north side.
And also at
Civic Arena.
Civic Arena. But so Syria Moss.
Oh yeah, Syria Moss. Now
George Clinton and the boys from Patterson, New Jersey.
Yeah. I was at the Civic Arena when they brought the mothership down.
Yeah.
You know, that's like, don't doctor.
I think Sly opened the show.
Yeah.
I think Sly opened the show.
Yeah, I mean that was funky. Mothership landed. Dr. Funkenstein came out. Yeah, what you talking about? Yeah, they used to have some great shows. You know, like Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
Oh, when they come up and they drove that beautiful white Rolls Royce on stage. Oh, you know, even Commodores.
The production.
Oh, Commodore.
Hey man, I saw the Commodores the first time I saw Commodores. Me and my girlfriend saw them with the twin coaches. Remember the twin coaches I'm dating myself, on Route 51. There was a place called the Twin Coast on Route 51. That's where I first saw the Commodores. Commodores were like fresh out of Tuskegee.
Oh.
Touring around the country.
Man.
Yeah.
Lionel Richie come down that baby grand piano, that white baby grand piano out there. I mean, those are the kind of things the concerts that we used to be able to go see. Those are the kind of concerts I'd love to be able to afford to
produce.
But
it's a production thing now. Production thing, you know. Whenever I go to a show now, I tell Amy this all the time. First thing I'm watching is the overall production.
Yeah.
I watch how the show is put, because I guess it's part of my theater background and doing all that stuff behind the scenes and everything. So I know how it comes together, but I like to watch how it comes together. I watch how long the different acts are on stage. I'm like, well, you know what? You guys are taking up too much time. Y'all need to let the other bands come in and But I always watch all of that stuff and the overall production. I love watching how the production's put together.
Yes.
And when I used to plan events for city parks, I used to like to put the whole production together so people do not get bored like watching that, like Reservoir Jazz.
Right.
You know, doing that up at Highland Park or Stars at Riverview.
Yeah.
When I help produce that.
Right.
I like to watch how the overall production comes together.
Oh yeah.
And like to watch how to make sure that the musicians get paid what they're supposed to.
Oh yeah. And you know what killed me?
Thing.
You know what killed me from going to concerts?
What's that?
I went to see Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 MCs. Now I think the last concert I saw before them was the Motor Boogie Affair. All right, up here at the Civic Arena, Parliament. And here's these 5 guys come out here with on stage with microphones and a turntable. That when you see you used to seeing the horn section, pop 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 pop. You know, like Earth, Wind, and Fire, you know.
Well, that's how production changed between that era and the hip-hop era, because it became a whole new different thing. But hip-hop is what I call the new blues. Because just like country, hip-hop tells a story about what's going on in the community.
Right.
And how people are related. I noticed my friend Arnold calling it. That's how things come together in the community, how people piece things together through everyday happenings. Whether it's the drug thing going on, whether it's not getting enough food on the table.
Right.
It's like watching Good Times. Well, Good Times tells the story too.
Right.
About what's going on, or George Jefferson moving up from the east side to a deluxe apartment in the sky. How he went from the simple cleaners to like owning all his stuff.
You got
so you look at that and you look at Florida Evans and everybody and all that good stuff. It all tells the story of the black community.
Yes.
And so hip hop came along and told their story of the black community and how building the cross, the expressway, destroyed parts of the community and how they had to create something completely different. So Flash, who had an electronics background,
Right.
people don't know that they all were going to school for all this different stuff and how they put these things together. But, you know, when Flash came to Pittsburgh, one of the last times he came, one of the white kids brought him in, and they wanted me to ask Flash 5 questions. I'm like, I'm not making up no questions to ask Flash. I know him from a long time ago, and I know what to talk to him about.
Right.
So it was like, all of a sudden, these people want to co-opt our music and phase us out and keep us from talking to a lot of these different artists. And that's what some of the black folks do to this day. Here in Pittsburgh, when I wanted to go to a show, I used to write for the Courier. I freelanced for the Courier for many years. But Courier doesn't have freelancers anymore. But I wrote a lot of different articles about the Courier on a lot of different topics about people coming to town and interviewing a lot of different artists. Artists that I met through Dr. Davis, through covering the Pit Jazz Center, people like Patrice Rusher, who I keep a contact with like all the time now.
Yes.
You know, she's doing fantastic stuff still to this day, touring all over the United States and in Europe and everything. Some of the members of James Brown's band that I still keep a contact with. One of the gentlemen lives in Germany.
Oh, wow.
And that's all he does is create music all the time, but he does it over there now.
Oh.
Okay.
I talk to a lot of different reggae artists. I talked to like the Mad Professor, who just recently retired, but he still releases some of the unreleased material, and his son Joe is still doing stuff like all the time. You know, so you know, I'm in contact with them. Some of the different artists in Jamaica, like Congo Ashanti Roy, who's getting ready to tour with him and Wati and Cedric. They're getting ready to do their tour in Europe. They're going to play all these big festivals where they get paid lots of money. Not want to bring the reggae artists here in Pittsburgh.
Oh, come on.
You know, we're not even.
And you got reggae artists here in Pittsburgh. You got great reggae artists here in Pittsburgh.
Here that have been based here for like many
years.
Like I remember when the Swamp Band first came here because the manager called me and told me to come and meet them.
Okay.
So you know, my man Norris Reed, God rest his soul. You know, Norris and a lot of different people. Cookie, my man. Cookie.
Hey.
Yeah. Cookie played all the instruments on My Black is Beautiful. So I definitely gotta give a shout out to Mr. Lloyd Willisey. Shout out to you, man.
Yeah, his other partner that plays the keyboard.
Yeah.
You know.
Zapology, yes, Zapology.
That was a bad thing. I mean, these are all great musicians.
Yeah.
I've been following these guys for years. And then my man Earl,
you know what say.
you know, me and him sit down and talk.
Wisdom.
Like, we got to end this conversation when we talk about the next time. But, you know, him, Sister Bunny, who I talk to daily.
Yes.
You know, my man Hakeem, who is living in Ghana now. You know, he's building things on his property in Ghana.
Okay.
You know, because he went over there and got some property, and like he says, like bulletins out every day where he's like building things and doing stuff and traveling here and there. You know, it's like amazing, man. I've been truly blessed.
That's a good thing.
Yes, and it's
a good thing. Yes.
Wasn't for my parents and everybody, Howard and Clarice's kid wouldn't be here.
You know, life experiences, man. You're blessed with the right experiences through life, you know.
So, I do personal appearances. I still do MC.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So all y'all gotta do is let me know. And, folks outside of Annie and Myron, hey, you gotta pay me though.
That's right.
That's it.
But and I consult people, and I come out and do personal appearances too.
There you go.
And I'll come out and talk to your group about music or what have you.
So why don't you let people know how they can get a hold of you to do that?
Okay. Now, not for you scammers or spammers, email address is kamos54@gmail.com. Or if you write me at WRCT, I'll get it because I'm one of the music directors there. Write me at reggae@wrct.org or blues@WRCT. Even though I'm the the jazz director too, but either way, it's reggae or blues, I will get it.
Okay.
People send me stuff like every single day.
Right.
There's a lot of music, like Duke Ellington said, there's a lot of music out there, it's either good or bad.
That's it.
That's it. And there are thousands upon thousands of stuff that's released every single day.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I guess that's it.
Yes, we would.
Oh wow.
We would like to.
Glad for make the special programming for
Yes, it's a blessing because you blessing us with your knowledge and everything. That's it. I appreciate that. So we appreciate that so much. You coming on.
I still want to interview you.
Billy Porter, yeah, come on, Billy Porter. Then after you done with his show, you come on by.
I know you're in Pittsburgh right now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, because your girl had. He's at your girl's gig yesterday.
Oh wow.
The DJ.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We would really like to thank you. We really appreciate you giving us your time. Your knowledge was certainly a pleasure.
Well, I love you guys.
Yeah.
And I see we can talk about old school all day.
Talk about music.
Hey.
I like to read Annie's posts every day. She be talking about feeding old guys.
I say all my silver foxes out there, yes.
Hey, cooking dinner. I said, girl, quit doing it. You making me hungry.
Yes. But as we say on For the Love of Music Talk Show on Scarfile Radio, peace, love, and light.
I love you.
And y'all stay all right.
Yep. Thank you again. We really appreciate you.
Peace, family.